look at this great stuff I got from Howard and Cheryl. I love this picture right here. This is just awesome. There they are in another boat. I don't think that is the same boat, I think. Same as on the cover. And here's something that Howard wrote. He wrote this book as well. Along with this stuff that he sent me, he also sent me a letter. And one of the things in the letter is talking about how long it takes him to do a boat when he restores it. And then he started to list things that I still need to do. And it says steering, wiring, mid-deck and engine installation, shaft and prop, rudder, hull fittings, throttle. I'm not going to keep going. But one of the things in the list made me think, blower. Thanks, Howard. I didn't even write that on here. Now I got to write blower on my list. The list that you're about to see, the to-do list. So here's the to-do list. In a time lapse, I grabbed hold of my, I love this old stone blackboard, the real thing. And it's a joy to write on it with a piece of chalk. And I made a to-do list. This is far from complete. But if you notice something on there that you think should be added, send me that in the comments. And I may have thought of it already, but I may not have. I can't wait to read this book. And I've already read this article right here, but I certainly haven't read this book. I can't wait to read it. But Howard, I think it's going to have to wait until summer when Unbeknownst is actually in the water. Welcome to episode 33, season 2. It's April. Yesterday was April Fool's. But this episode is not an April Fool's joke. My earliest memory is riding in my grandfather's boat, arm over the side, hand in the spray. I've spent much of the rest of my life chasing this feeling. All of that has led to this. The wooden boat experience.
Yeah. Why is it smoking so much still?
I don't know. It doesn't smell good. Oh, it's all that brake clean burning. We put a lot of brake clean in that intake. We're burning off.
That's good for us.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Wow. Okay. My new car.
This Guaranteed carburetors recorded.
Can I speak with Dave Kay, please?
Speaking.
Hi, Dave. This is Scott from the Wooden Boat Experience. I was hoping to order a carburetor from you today. The one that I'm looking for is the Y38-2A.
Okay.
Which is a Mercarb, right?
Just in case you missed it, I did a live stream, my first one, last Sunday. You should find a link up above here. Go check it out. Make sure if you do that you skip past the first 11 minutes and 30 seconds, which is just waiting for the live stream to start up. If I had known, I would have edited that out. You won't be able to see any of this because all those pieces of mahogany, they're going to make the ceilings here, are going to cover that up. The seat will be here, but still, no sense in getting sloppy now. I mean, I suppose I really don't even need to stain some of this, but it's probably easier just to stain the whole thing. I don't know what I was doing, but it made a little mess on here. That looks good. Now I think we got the right size. That's better. That is better. Seem to be really good at finding the ribs from the other side without trying. Okay, one more right here. It's amazing how many things I lose in this little space every day. Oh, here it is. Holy cow. So I will measure this way and get it in the center because all these are at the same level all the way down through here because they're measured from the bottom of the rib or the strake above them. So what I want to do now is just get the location this way. It's important that this doesn't move. And that you don't look from the side. When you're trying to eyeball something, you want to get straight onto it. If you look at a ruler or a tape measure or anything, if I look at it and try to do it here, it's pretty difficult to get it in the right spot. It's also difficult to hold this in the right spot while I'm doing this because it's kind of pivoting on this because it's not, the strake's not straight, so it's not staying. I might not be able to do that. That hole might have to move backwards. I think it is going to have to move backwards. That's not very much meat there. Strake is that thick. I don't want the screw popping out. So we'll probably move this hole back another inch. Okay, now we'll measure these and countersink, use the countersink to drill these. Even though we're only going in part way and not putting a countersink here, we need that tapered drill bit. I gained about 3/16 of an inch. It's a little bit too high right now, but I know it's gonna sag some. You know, these gloves are slippery with some stuff, but I got a sliver the other day that literally went up in this under this fingernail in about halfway. You can see the skin's all removed here now. I immediately went in and got a pair of tweezers and pulled out what I thought was a whole splinter. This was probably 3 episodes ago. And then probably a week and a half later, it starts to get infected. Not really badly, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. There must be something still in there. And then suddenly, I looked at it one day, and I'm like, okay, either this is coming out or I'm going to the doctor. I squeezed it, and that splinter popped right out of there. It just like it had been greased, and it was about almost a 1/4 inch long. And oh, the relief was amazing. So if I had had these gloves on, I wouldn't have got that splinter that day. So sometimes I hate them, but other times I wish I had them on. It's getting a little windy now. The wind noise is going to be a bit much. You'll have to live with that, I guess. Here's the pencil line where it was. I'm going to now pop this wedge out. You're going to see a Sharpie line. I'm sorry, this is where I moved it up to. You're going to see a Sharpie line where it was. Wow, that didn't move at all. And I think that will work. Pull you guys out so you can take a look. Now it is, the important thing is that it's parallel to this line here. Well, I got this cleaned up and I'd love to mount it, but I need to get, I've got a little list of odds and ends that I need to order from Jamestown. And one of them is number 4 oval head, probably 1/2 inch or 5/8, whatever the shortest one they have is, of Frierson silicone bronze screws to put this on, because I don't have any. The smallest I have is 6s, and that's not going to work. See, I put this nice little bend in the end here to bring this around the front. I've got to put a little bit more in, but I'll probably do that with a screw. What you want when you have a piece of wood that is relieved like this and you're going to put a rub strip on it, you don't want to leave the end of the rub strip out at the farthest point. You want to bring the end in farther, so you got at least a better chance of it not catching something and peeling all the way back and ripping all these screws out. So I'll do that at the front end, and then also at this end you can see there's not a hole here. I'm gonna slowly bend this in very carefully after there's a screw in here. It's really easy to break these things right at these screw holes because it gets pretty thin there. So I'll put this screw in, and then I'll very carefully bend that over while holding this here, and then I'll put countersink in that and screw that down. So if the boat hits something here, it'd have to hit way back in close to catch this, and the same on the front. That's the hope anyway. So we'll set this here. That's ready for some screws. This is ready to be taken off and stained and varnished. Now we got to do the other side also. That one hasn't been screwed on yet. It's best not to overheat these things too much. They get dull fast when you do. So what are we doing here? Well, I wanted the steering wheel to come towards me just a little bit more. We needed a tiny bit of clearance in the back of the helm for the steering system. So this does both things. It moves the steering wheel towards me, and it creates an extra 3/8 of space essentially in the back by moving everything forward. This is going to look nice too. It's got that plastic ring, that bezel, which I absolutely hate. I don't understand why they don't make a chrome one or any color but black plastic. I mean, there's so many old boats that put those steering systems in. I don't understand why they don't have a better one. I may have to call my son and have him make me one. Now, the reason I left this a little bit short is sometimes you'll actually burn this when you take a lot off like I just was doing. Probably not with this kind of plywood because this material is fairly soft. This is Meranti here, which is basically, it is mahogany. But I always would go a little short, then come back in and slowly take that off so you don't burn it. Very nice. Guess what dummy left the directions sitting out there? We won't mention any names. I do like this piece here. I don't know, I didn't make the other one yet because I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. This is the steering cable where it comes out, the extra, as you're steering. And the other cable goes in here, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen with all that yet. So that might have to be a steel bracket. And you can't really see it over there anyway. But we do have our controller in its spot here. That really worked out nicely. It's in there nice and solid. Makes a nice little spot for whatever here. This helm is going to be awesome. I've already driven this boat like 2-3 hours. Don't even have the motor in it yet. All right, let's go grab the directions. You know, Kenny, from the looks of this workbench, I'm beginning to think you're correct. Chaos is the natural state of things, because it sure is an organization around here today. Okay, I've got a problem. I threw stain and a first coat of varnish on this flagpole, forgetting to adjust it, because this flagpole is made for a straight holder, like, more like this one. Although this one's bigger, and this is an angle. So what I've got to do is adjust this little relief here to match the angle. Okay, I think that's pretty successful.